I think what you said was key there. It was character and being and transparency in general. I mean, there are many things I dislike about different people I see on the internet or artists in general, where I'm like, oh, you know what? I really don't support like your viewpoint. Like I think I've mentioned this before, but like Naughty Dog and The Last of Us Part 2. Like I disagree with like the political views of a lot of people in that studio, especially Neil Druckmann. But I could tell he's a real creative guy. He's genuine in what he believes, and he also wants to just be creative. And I think they do some really good work over there at that game studio, even if the game they release is insanely controversial. And I was upset of it even when it came out. But I've kind of like turned a new leaf on it where I'm like, oh, you know what? I can kind of separate the art from the artist. I can separate your political views and the views you have on, you know, a bunch of different political topics and, you know, stuff like that. However, some of the art people make is kind of dope. And I would like to watch or consume that in a way. And I think that's I think that's important, because I think a great example of what you bring up in terms of character is like controversial figures like, you know, Michael Jackson and people who are, what's that rapper guy that is in prison? And it's not Nelly. It's not Nelly. It's the other one, not Jay-Z.
Which one?
The one that was like in jail for peeing on people.
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, yeah. Like that guy, like I don't really go out of my way to listen to his music, but when I listen to it and it sounds good, I'm like, oh, this sounds pretty good. And then you figure out what he did, you're like, oh, that's not good, but he made a pretty bopping beat, you know?
Well, I mean, you know, it's kind of funny that you mentioned R. Kelly, because I always like to make the joke that
I don't know why I did. I just completionist to like R. Kelly. What a transition.
I've always made the joke about the situation that his hit song was a cry for help that everybody missed, because the famous line from the song goes, "My mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes."
I think there's much to be said about people who rap or sing about those kind of things, and then they end up being those kind of things. Yeah, it's definitely a signal. It's definitely a smoke. Where there's smoke, there is fire at times, David.
Yeah.